within. And for love to happen within, you have to respect you. You have to know that you are not born in sin. There is no egocentric identities or conditionings as it is propagated by different religions. If your being is full of guilt, if you are born in sin, how can you love yourself? And if you cannot love yourself, you cannot love anyone. The love must happen at home first. You are the home, and only when it overflows, it can reach to the other. And when it overflows through your acts into whatever you do, whether you paint, make a shoe, or anything, cleaning the streets, mopping or cleaning the house, whatsoever you do, if you are in deep love, you are in deep love with yourself. It flows in anything that you do. It flows even when you are not doing anything. It goes on overflowing. It becomes your very existence. Then nothing is boring. There are two ways of experiencing it. Through your own understanding and harmony when it comes within the opposites within you. Remember, half of you is contributed by your father, that is the masculine element, and half of you is contributed by your mother, the feminine element. These are the two. According to Sanatan Sanskriti, it is known as Shiva and Shakti. Shiva means that which is the cosmic seed, and Shakti, the Parvati, his consort, is the field that it creates for the energy to flow, or anima and animus, as Taoists call it, or yin and yang, or psychology as it calls the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain. As the science calls it, the positive and negative poles. Remember, the transcendence happens only when the positive and neutrals and the negative poles neutralize one another. This understanding is very important. And with this understanding, one day you can experience it within through meditation. Those whose path is of meditation, and there are those for whom love is natural, specifically for females. Love is natural. So she experiences this through love. And for that, total surrender is necessary. You can surrender to your own energies, or this can happen to you through someone, your spouse, your master, or anyone else. So, and then when you have experienced the reservoir, explored the reservoir of love and harmony within, nothing can remain boring for you. You may be doing the same thing over and over again, like a little child listening to the same story over and over again, but there is no boredom in you. A child is never bored listening to the same story every night. When the mother puts the child to sleep, he wants to hear the same story again and again. You may get fed up eating the same food over and over again because you are not alive. If you are alive, it is said that every moment there is something changing within you. The cells that constitute the human body are undergoing changes. And when this is happening, but this is so delicate and so delicate that your human mind cannot capture it. You have to be very alert and awake to know. Heraclitus says you cannot enter the same river twice because river is not stationary. River is a flow. There are two banks, two shores, and between them a bed is formed and water flows between these two shores. This is the reality that we know as river. There is a difference between a pond and a river. Pond is just a pool of water where the water is not flowing. At the most, you look at the swimming pool, the water is there, and all it through the mechanical process, the water is filtering, but it is not flowing. But in a river, water may not be filtering, it filters in its natural way through the movement. This is a human life. In human life, as you flow, just like a river, you are rivering, you are flowing, your energies are rivering, waving. Then, with that, the purity and innocence comes in. During the rainy season, when the rain is full of water, many dross or garbage flows with it. But because of the flow of the river, it moves away and the water becomes crystal clear. I have heard about Buddha. Once Buddha and Anand were traveling through a forest. They were trying to reach to the village before the day ends. So they asked someone, how far is the village? He was told that it is not too far, just 2 miles. But afterwards he again asked, is it 2 miles? This is how to encourage you. The man was not lying. He was using a strategy. If you are asked to do something, I ask you to do something, you want to know how long it will take. If I tell you that this will take 3 hours, you will say, oh, 3 hours, I don't have time for that. Oh, just now, it will take just maybe 15-20 minutes. 15-20 minutes? Oh, I can do it now. It is a process to encourage you. So after some time, Buddha felt tired and he said he is feeling thirsty. When the pool that he has fallen, that the water was muddy, the leaves have fallen, and as Buddha was passing through that, a cart passed through the river. Because of that, all that was at the surface settled got disturbed. So the water became muddy and the leaves started floating on top because of that churning as the wheels were moving. So after about 2 or 3 miles, Buddha sat down and he said to Anand, Anand, I am feeling tired. I am feeling thirsty. I want water. So Anand said, Bhante, I know nearly about a mile from here there is another pool, and as we are moving in that direction, we can get the water from there. Buddha said, no, I want you to get the water from the stream that we have left behind. So Anand goes there. Anand goes there and he comes back empty-handed. He said, that water is very dirty, muddy. It cannot be used for consumption. Buddha heard it. And Anand said, I can go to the next side and bring the water for you before we can continue the journey. Buddha said, no. I want you to get the water from the same stream that we had left behind. Anand had no choice. If you were, you would have argued with him for no reason, as everybody does. But only one who is surrendered, who is in total love, there is no question. You realize that there must be some reason why is he asking me to go to the same pond where I had just passed and saw the water was muddy. You do not question the master because he sees the things deeper than you, and not only that, all these things are simply techniques to take you beyond, to bring about transformation in you. He is not interested in all those things. He may not be interested in talking about all those things. Do you think I'm interested in talking all these things to you? If it is in my hand, I would not talk to anyone. I will just remain silent and quiet. But if I remain silent, you cannot decipher my silence. And even the silence that overflows through these words, you are not familiar with it. You are only familiar with the container. What is, when you go and buy anything in the market, you look at the content, you read the content, and most of the time, the containers do not carry the correct information, and you do not have the technique to know to decipher the quality of the product through its content. This many times it happens. Whether it is medicines or anything. So, it is very difficult to live with a master unless there is a total love. Love does not question. Love simply flows. It is like a river, it is flowing. And as it is flowing through love and in love, all that is superfluous, unwanted, flows out and keeps you crystal clear. Anand goes there and he realized that the water was crystal clear. How the water that was muddy because the distance from that pond to where Buddha was is about 2 miles. To reach to that pond, first he reached there 2 miles, maybe 20 minutes to walk. He saw the pond in the first place, comes back another 20 minutes, 40 minutes. And after that, when he was sent back by Buddha, another 20 minutes, total was 60 minutes. In 60 minutes, much water has flowed. Much water has flowed. As the water flowed, with that, all that dross that has surfaced because of the turmoil that the wheels of the cart has created, but it needs to be meditative. When you are interacting in your day-to-day life through the objects and beings, you passing through a busy marketplace, a shopping mall, there are many shops, and each shop has many articles. They come like pebbles, and a smartphone displaying in a showcase, a beautiful outfit is showing in the next showcase. All these are like pebbles. They fall in your silent, tranquil water because there was something missing in you. So when you look at the smartphone, it triggers something. It creates a disturbance how to get the money to get this smartphone or this. This is what happens. A person seems to be very quiet and calm. The moment a word is spoken, that word becomes like a stone, as if a stone is thrown into the silent lake of the mind, and many waves start arising from the point where the stone was entered into the pond, and the waves start striking the shore. Disturbance is there. So when you are in the company of the Master, through love, through understanding, this does not happen, and slowly, because of that love, the understanding that comes in, all that superfluous waves that has been arising continuously start dissolving. So when Anand reaches there, he saw the water was crystal because it has taken time. 60 minutes have passed, or I gave you just an example as a calculation. And in that, the water was settled. Crystal clear water again was flowing. All that dross, all that garbage that has surfaced from within. So this is with the flow, it happens slowly and slowly. This happened with the pond. But with the human consciousness, which is like a river constantly flowing, then it does not settle. It flows out. Flows out just like a toilet bowl. When whatsoever falls into it, the moment you flush it, it flushes out and goes into the next realm, next stage, where it is going to be decomposed. When during the autumn, the leaves fall from the tree, they remain creating a disturbance around the tree. So you sweep it out or you throw it in the garbage. But these leaves, when they remain there, they dry and they become the manure. And when water falls or the snow falls, it gets assimilated into the soil to fertilize the soil and provide the nutrition to the plant. In the same way, all that has been superfluous, all that has been causing disturbance in your process of transformation, when it falls, because of your love and understanding for the Master, it decomposes and nourishes and nurtures you. It is just an understanding. So his love, your love for him, is the light that guides you, is the understanding which fertilizes you, helps in the process of decomposing all that superfluous that you considered once unnecessary and superfluous and disturbing in your life. The same thing, because of your love for him, because of his light, because of his understanding, it decomposes and nourishes you. So when Anand brought the water, Buddha asked, did you get the message? If Anand had argued with Buddha, he would have not transformed. He would have not seen that the mind is like a pond which has gathered too much dross in it in the form of egocentric identities, conditionings, and all that. So when you have love for the Master, or a deep understanding that life moves in a particular manner, then these things decompose. All these conditioning that you had gathered or has been infused in you by the society, by the parents, by the cultures, by the religious priests and everything. Like Christians say, we are all born in sin. This is a conditioning and you can never come out of it. The entire life is lost into it. The same thing as Sufis call the various aspects of nafs, nafs lavama, nafs mutma, the various 7 stages of nafs. And this is very important to understand this. The understanding becomes the process of dissolution. But without, first you have to develop the trust, and then with that the understanding comes and the process of decomposition or dissolution begins. So you can read the contents, but to decipher the contents is totally different. People come to me and sympathetically ask me that you do not get bored. I do not get bored because I know I am a flow. I am not a stationary pond, which is, or a swimming pool which is just circulating the same water, constantly flowing. So I may be doing the same thing over and over again, but it is not boredom. If I hate myself, if I know that I am born in sin, I will hate myself, I will get bored. Because you cannot live with the person you hate or you dislike. You can interact with that person, but you cannot live permanently with that person. You get bored with yourself. You cannot be alone. Even if you are alone, even for a few moments, you start getting fidgety. So you start looking through your smartphone or television or WhatsApp app or anything. You get uncomfortable and uneasiness comes into your being. You long to meet someone. Because you cannot remain alone with yourself. The company is so boring. Your own company is also boring. Do you love being alone by yourself? Introspect. And as love deepens or you experience lovingness within you, you will start loving yourself, respecting yourself. Then the best company that you cherish is your own company. I love, enjoy my own company, but I can cherish anybody's company because it is for a short moment, and through that company I can communicate with you what I have. A flower is happy alone by itself because it has blossomed, because of inner flowering, inner growth. Something has happened within the flower. It was nourished and nurtured by those decomposed leaves or the dross that has gathered around. It has this, there was a harmony between the earth element and the flower's higher qualities, because it is the capillary system of the flower that sucks the nourishment from the soil. But the soil is what? Is the basic element. What is your basic element in life? Is nafs. Is nafs. Nafs is that the place where you make your compost manure. You throw, like you would have seen, you can throw the food garbage and all the other things in the garbage bag, or you can put them in a hole for it to become a compost manure. And after some time it nourishes and fertilizes the soil. So what has happened? All those unnecessary, superficial food stuff that begins to stink, after some time I have got hidden deep within, and the process of decomposition began. They nourished and nurtured. So all that egocentric identities can be used to decompose and refertilize the inner flowering. And so the flower says that because of my capillary system, which is the part of the stem and everything, and through the roots, it is, as roots are deep within, it is in direct contact with the earth element where the nourishment is, and through the capillary system it sucks the nourishment, and its petals and everything is fertilized, and then it blossoms. But it has blossomed out of its own understanding. Now, if you are open to the flower will, its beauty, its luster, its fragrance will infatuate you. But if you are against, then nothing will happen. So Master is that flower that has blossomed on its own, and its fragrance, beauty and luster constantly overflows. You are vulnerable to it. You come to the garden. You are enamored by the beauty, fragrance and luster. Something begins to change within you. You begin to love and respect yourself. All that you have gathered once upon a time and you continue to gather as garbage, as unwanted substance, begin to decompose and start nourishing you. And in that, At times it said that my energy level is very high. What is the energy level? You are getting more and more nourished, and you have learned the art of decomposing the unwanted and learned the art of drawing through the capillary system the energy from the earth element. And the earth element is the, put it this way, 6, is the existential bioenergy. You have understood it very clearly. It is constantly, now it is nourishing and nurturing you, and your life begins to transform. The inner flower is blossomed, and when the flower is blossomed, its beauty and fragrance creates an aura, creates a milieu around itself, and that you live in that milieu. Enough for now.